Hi everyone and welcome back to Maths and Physics with Mr. Simons. Today's lesson on inverse functions, we're looking at the first variation, right, where we give you the equation of exponential graph and we test from the equation, can you draw, can you find the inverse, etc. This is from the past paper, November 2020. Right, so the graph of f of x equal 3 negative x is sketched below, so there's the graph sketched. A is the y-intercept, so there we have a y-intercept, and B is the point of intersection of F and the line y equal to 9. So where B is, we have a y value for 9. So B, we don't know what x is, but it's x and 9, its coordinates. 5.1, write down the coordinates of A for 1 mark. 5.2, determine the coordinates of B for 3 marks. 5.3, write down the domain of the inverse. So remember, original graph, and if we say inverse, we're swapping about y equal to x. So my range of my original graph becomes my domain of the inverse graph. Then 5.4, describe the translation from f to hx if it equals 27 over 3x for 3 marks. Then 5.5, describe the values of x for which h of x is less than 1. Also for 3 marks. So you can pause here and attempt questions. Right, I'm going to solve the problems now. Write down the coordinates of A. So there by A we should know x is 0. Right, anything to the power 0 would give me 1. So therefore A is simply 0 and 1. Then they say determine the coordinates of B. So we know f of x equal 3 negative x and we know y equal to 9. So technically by B, my y value for B would be 9. So there y equal 9, 3 negative x. That becomes 3 squared equal 3 negative x. Bases are the same, so we can drop it. So negative x equal 2. Divide by a negative and x equal negative 2. So coordinates of B minus 2 and 9. So 1 mark there for substitution. 1 mark there for expressing 9 as 3 to the power square, and another mark for getting x equal negative 2. Right, they want the domain of the inverse. Right, so my range for the exponential graph original was y greater than 0. You see here in the equation there's plus 0 there, so it has an asymptote at 0 where this graph is not allowed to touch. Right, so my range is for graph going above it, so my range would have been y greater than 0. Therefore, my domain of the inverse then becomes x greater than 0. Or we can say x element of, we're starting by 0, but 0 is not included. Therefore, open parenthesis, it goes to positive infinity. We don't know where that is, so therefore, also open parenthesis, right? Next questions. Describe the translation from f to hx if it equals 27 over 3x. Right, so h of x equal 27 is 3 to the power 3 and 3 to the power x. We know f of x was 3 to the negative x. Right, that becomes 3 minus x according to second law of exponents. Bases are the same. If I divide, subtract the exponents, and there if I take out the negative, that becomes negative. X becomes positive and 3 becomes negative. So therefore negative x minus 3. Alright. Now that there we can say straight the graph was shifted 3 units to the right because it's negative. Right. But here I'm going to show you if I take f of x there. If I put in negative 1, 3 to the power positive 1 gives me 3. If I put 0, I get 1. If I put 1, it's 3 negative 1, which then becomes 1 over 3. Now to get the same answers for the second one, if I take 2, right, 2 minus 3 gives me negative 1 times negative positive 1, so that gives me 3. You see there? If I use 3, 3 minus 3 is 0. Anything to the power 0 is 1. If I use 4, 4 minus 3 gives me 1, and negative 1, 3 negative 1 becomes 1 over 3. So you see I have the same set of answers, 3, 1, 1 over 3. But the key difference is to go from minus 1 to positive 2, I move 3 units. And go from negative to positive, I'm moving to the right. So minus 1 to 2, 3 units. So they are simpler. To go from 0 to 3, I'm going 3 units to the right. To go from 1 to 4, I'm going 3 units to the right. So therefore, you see the negative 3 there means we're going 3 units right. It was plus 3, then we would have gone 3 units to the left. Right, and then 5.5, describe the values of x for which h of x is less than 1. Right, so we know the graph shifts 3 units to the right. Right, thus the y-intercept shifts 3 units to the right. So the y-intercept was 0 and 1, so now it will become 3 and 1. So therefore x is greater than 3, or could have used the equation 3 minus x minus 3 less than 1, because that's h of x. Then 1, we should remember, can be written as 3 to the power 0, because anything to the power 0 is 1. From there, minus x minus 3 is less than 0. If I divide by a negative, the inequality sign changes, so x minus 3 is greater than 0. If I take negative 3 over x greater than 3. So those are the values for which this graph here will be less than 1, is where x is greater than 3. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please like and subscribe. Right? And I hope to do many other lessons to help you in many ways. If the lesson helped, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, also leave a thumbs down so that I know what I need to do to improve it. Wish you nothing but the best. Bye.